I'm about to be a freaking doctor. I mean, in 2 years, but I'm about to be a doctor. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tracy A, and this is Med School Mondays. If you're seeing me in the same clothes, you know, I'm filming the same day I filmed my hair video. So if you're looking for that, I think it's up there. It should be up here. Well, it should be up here, but up here. Click the link up there or down below. So hey, how you doing? First Med School Monday of the year. If you don't know who I am a second-year medical student here in Harlem. I'm Nigerian, okay? All right, just in case you're wondering. And I'm just documenting my journey. Med School Mondays is just about me kind of giving advice or just trials and tribulations that I am currently going through. And trust me, I'm going through a lot, okay? If you guys watch me on Snap, I'm currently in the neuro psych module, so neurology and psychology. That's what we're learning. This is the last module of the year, basically, before we go into dedicated study time, because second year is usually when a lot of medical students take the step one. So it's like step one of the licensing exam, so that you can actually be a practicing physician. Step one does determine a lot. So basically, you take your MCAT, you get into med school. I didn't take the MCAT. Watch my story up here or here, whichever. Take the MCAT, get into medical school. You get into medical school, do 2 years of basically, like that's where you're learning, and then you go ahead and you take step one. Step one determines what you can apply to, what residency you can apply to once you finish medical school in your 4th year. So basically, if you want to become a urologist or endocrinologist or plastic surgeon or whatever you want to do, your step one score determines that. So basically, if you do very, very well, then your options are limited. But if you do relatively poorly, or if you just pass, then you could only become a certain type of doctor. That's not the only way you could become a certain type of doctor, but when you're applying to residencies, usually like they put all the scores and all the applicants in a generator, and if you don't reach their required step one score, you don't even get a call back, so you can't even like get the interview. So your name doesn't even come up on their radar. Even if you're an amazing student but you just had a really bad testing day, your life is determined by basically a test, unless you have, you know, a couple of people helping you out here and there. So before I go into step one studying, I'll probably talk about that in the later upcoming weeks, because right now I'm really focused on neurology, and this is my second part of neuro. We're learning about the basal ganglia, cerebellum, limbic, the limbic system, hypothalamus, the cortex and speech, all that stuff's wrapping it up, and then we're going to go into psychology, which is like depression and all this stuff, which you kind of already learned, but now we're going to be tested on it. Yeah, so I'm about to wrap up my second year of medical school, and it's very weird. I feel very weird. And this Friday, actually, my class and I were going to be making not a big decision, but a decision that could really determine how the rest of medical school is going to go. So basically, we have a lottery system. As I said in previous videos, my class is the first graduating class out of this medical facility. We would be the first ones ever getting a medical degree from the school, because of the way our school was set up previously. So because of that, we have to now think of how, like, clerkship. Our school never did clerkship before, so it's kind of weird. Not gonna lie, I feel like everyone is kind of not nervous, but everyone's preparing. So basically, for the lottery system, there's 2 locations that we can do our clerkships at. So clerkship is basically, you know how we've learned about the endocrine system, learned about all the surgery, learned about all the different things medicine wise. Now it's basically time to kind of see that in the field. So that's when you see medical students in the hospitals. We're not necessarily shadowing, you're actually part of the team. So like on your team, they're usually an attending resident, there's a regular resident, there is a usually another medical student, there's the nurses, there are PAs, all because, you know, it's interprofessional like work. Like when you're working in a hospital, it's always you're working with the team. So basically you're on that team and you're not taking care of patients, but you're kind of in charge of said patients. And I learned a lot. Shout out to Tony. I'm gonna put his picture right here. To Tony, he definitely came. He came through on a couple of days ago, and he taught my girls and I, like, not the ins and outs of clerkships, but just a couple of things on clerkships. And I thought it was pretty helpful, because honestly, I feel like there's a lot we don't know, and especially being the first graduating medical school, there's no one above us. There's no one that we could be like, yo, how did you get through the internal medicine rotation? How did you get through family medicine? We don't know. And not that I don't want to figure it out by myself, but what I don't like about being the first at some things, it's kind of like being the guinea pig. And I don't want my medical career to be determined through my trials and tribulations, like whether or not I get it, because at the end of the day, this is a field I'm trying to get into for my family, for myself. So it's kind of annoying when you're trying to figure out if the system is working with my grades and my lifestyle, and just like, no. Yeah, so basically there's 2 locations that everyone's basically fighting for. As I said, we're in New York City, so our clerkship hospitals are going to be in one of the 5 boroughs. One of the locations is a public hospital. It's not outdated, but it's definitely different from what I was expecting. And another one is a private hospital. The private hospital is actually from my home borough. So like I'm kind of like inclined to go there. However, there's a couple of things between the 2 of them. One hospital seems to not have residents, and the other hospital seems to have residents, and they've been doing this for a couple of years. So it's just like, where do you want to go? But then again, we're in the middle of New York City, so location is key. I can't go from here to either way. I can't be going to a surgery rotation, having to be there at 5 a.m. and I'm not driving. But I also live in Harlem, so where am I going to park? So it's just very difficult. And at this point, we're kind of thinking of how to align our rotations in regards to what we want to do. I think I'm interested in surgery, and I think I'm interested in OB. Actually, let me get my notes. I think I'm interested in surgery. I think I'm interested in OB. And honestly, I was told that the way you set up your clerkships, like the sequence, like whether or not you take surgery first or you take emergency med first, depending on what that is, or OBGYN, that kind of determines, but it helps you kind of refocus like your goal. So if I want to do OB or surgery, you're not going to want to do that first per se, because once we get, nobody can prepare us for what we're about to encounter. It's going to be our first time ever in a hospital setting, ever being relied on as a participant in someone's health. So you don't want to be thrown into surgery and you don't know what you're doing, and that's also the rotation that you're interested in, because at the end of the day, we do get a grade, you do get a shelf exam, and if you don't necessarily do well, but then you decide that that's what you want to do at the end when you're applying for residency, it doesn't really look too good. So it's all a game, but you need to be calculated. Just the way you set up your resume to kind of portray the type of physician or the type in the directions you want to go into, that's the way you kind of have to map out your rotations and your clerkships. So what I've learned are that there are 2 tracks. There are medicine track and a surgery track. Medicine is internal med, family, peds, psych, and neurology, while surgery track is emergency medicine, CGS, surgery, and OBGYN. I guess surgery track is more along the lines of those doing actual like procedures and stuff like that. I don't know. We talked to our medical advisor, and they gave us a whole spiel about how if whatever you want to do, you should put it in towards the middle. So each semester, I believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 rotations. Okay. But the thing is, like, we're not allowed to take OB or surgery because they're really, really, really intense clerkships or rotations within the same semester. So if you want to do, let's say, family medicine, you should take that more in the middle. So it should be either 2, 3, or 4. I think we have 5, 2, 3, or 4, just so that it's in the middle. So you're like still really energetic. You're not as burnt out, and and it's like in between, like, the vacations and the breaks. So everything is a schematic, like everything you have to map it out. So I'm just kind of like confused because the rest of my years here are determined by, like, okay, am I gonna have to move from my apartment, which I'm loving. I don't want to go back home, okay, because my mom said I can't paint the walls white. Nigerian parents have issues with painting tins white. And not that I feel like I'm making a decision that might change my life. It's just like I just want the best experience, because at the end of the day, you're doing these clerkships for the experience. Like, this is what we signed up for. We signed up to be in the hospitals, taking care of people, doing procedures, learning as we go. And I want the best opportunity. I'm not saying that either hospital is poor or either hospital won't provide me with that, but also, like, because it's not necessarily that we're fighting or in competition with our peers for just location, public or private hospital. It also has to do with money. It also has to do with how you're going to feed yourself, where you're going to live, transportation. It also has to do with whether or not you even want that sequence, because it's depending on what you want to do. There's certain sequence, like if you want to do pediatrics, it's better off doing OB before pediatrics, so you kind of can see like the continuation of life, like you birth the baby and whatever. Shout out to Tony once again. So it's just like, it's a lot of things that I've learned, and now I'm just kind of frustrated and kind of confused. But we're definitely going to do the lottery system on Friday. And basically you pick your sequence, you submit it, the entire class submits it. The generator kind of like finagles it and does what they do, and then you get your sequence. You get your sequence and you get your location within each sequence. So one could be at a private hospital facility, one could be at a public, and we're just gonna have to figure it out. And thankfully it's early enough that we can still figure it out, but the lease on my apartment ends in October, so I don't know. I don't know how we gonna do this, okay? But I'm excited. It's definitely a journey, and I don't know, I feel like it's what we've been waiting for. This is what I have been waiting for. I've been waiting to get in the hospital. I've been waiting to not show my strengths, but also learn. I'm excited for what is to come. Like, I'm about to be a freaking doctor. I mean, in 2 years, but I'm about to be a doctor, and I don't know, it's just pretty exciting. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of chat with you guys. Happy New Year once again. Hopefully any of the goals and things you put on your list to check off this year actually comes to pass. And honestly, don't be upset if you haven't gotten what you wanted to get done. You have a whole year to get things done, and if things change also, like, don't be upset with that either. But just remember, stay determined, because it's very easy to not get caught up, but it's very easy to get caught up in your own head and just belittle yourself. Next thing you know, you're kind of out of it. But yeah, super excited. Step one is definitely going to be a journey, and I'm excited to take you guys along with me on this journey, because it's going to be hard, because as of right now, I know I don't know enough, and it's about to be hard, but it's exciting. So thanks for watching. If you want to see any more of my med school videos, I'll keep some links down below, but I'm pretty sure it's on this side. Put thingy up here, and look at my playlist. You want to check more videos about my hair, the links are down below, and there are also another playlist is going to pop up somewhere. But yeah, enjoy your day, guys. I hope you guys are having a blessed and wonderful day. Go and like my picture on Instagram. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put a picture up, because I feel bright. Shiny, 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 shiny. How do you guys like this color though? Whoa. Bye, guys.